Hey, welcome to this page. This page is going to talk about, or I'm going to investigate more about NFTs, non-fungible tokens. And what I'm not going to do is talk about crypto and blockchain. I have some interpretation of this, some personal interpretation, so I'm not sure if it's correct, if it's valuable. So I'm going to be very brief now in this video about crypto and blockchain, and then especially on this page go into the NFT part, especially on the non-fungible token part, like what's the value, how could it be practically integrated, what would be interesting to do, is the timing right now? I don't think so. So let me begin with blockchain. Blockchain is basically the network where the crypto and the NFTs live. And by living, I mean it's actually a chain. You can visualize it as a chain of a bike with every part of the chain is actually encrypted. And it's basically a contract. It's basically saying if I do any form of communication, I'm calling it communication, but it's actually transactional right now. But in the future, it will sure be communication because communication is everything. And so the communication currently at transactional level is basically, let's say I have a doctor that already is in digital. Basically, we have that already in Belgium almost, but it's not on the blockchain yet. It's basically, hey, dear doctor, I'm sick, so I'm going online, make an appointment. That appointment goes on the blockchain. I get an hour back. I get feedback. That goes back to me, that goes into my app. And that whole transactional yes-no thing, like this is you and this is me and we have this deal, is basically potentially something that could be living on the blockchain. Is that interesting for that part? I don't think so, but it will be part of the blockchain, I think, because it would be interesting to have the whole chain as of I make an appointment till I go to the doctor, I pay my doctor, maybe up front or after, whatever. I get feedback from my doctor. I get a note from my doctor, and my doctor sends it to my pharmacist. And my pharmacist, it's basically right now already happening, but it's not on the blockchain. And then I get it back to me. But every step of the way will be encrypted and will be checkmarked, like, yeah, this is valid. This is valid. It could be transactional. Could be about money. Could be about arrangements. Could be about communication. So anything document related, transaction related, or communication related, basically all transactional, hence the very broad definition, will be on a level of digital communication, and it's basically a platform with secure built-in security and of course privacy. So that's basically my interpretation of blockchain on a very high level, on a very holistic level. And then we have crypto. Crypto is the very complex part. I can't wrap my head around crypto. There's so many coins. You see all kind of communication on Twitter, on blog posts, on several so-claimed professionals or specialists or experts. Bitcoin is the best, or Ethereum. It will be Ethereum that gets to the audience. Or I have no fucking clue. What I do find very interesting on crypto is that it's digitally. So it's basically the same thing like buying Disney dollars in the Disney park. It holds value. It's a currency that holds value, and the interesting part about Bitcoin is that it's limited. So it's not like banks could start printing money, but that could be the case. So there are several coins, from what I've been reading. There are several coins that have a very high amount of volume, which is very interesting on a transactional level. Will turn down costs, and that's why Bitcoin is so expensive. Limited volume, so high costs, high value. So it needs to be both. And then there's Ethereum, that's also interesting. That's on the blockchain and smart contracts, and that's tied into each other. So that's a very interesting coin to follow. But yeah, there has been an explosion in coins and thus platforms for NFTs that picks the coin they want to work with, because the cost of transaction, which is called gas fees, I'll put a definition in the page about gas fees. Sorry. So basically, it's very expensive to mine crypto. It's very bad for environment. There are also some coins that are working on that very heavily. So that's interesting. So you will see this is early. This is gold rush. This is literally gold rush. This is traders' moment. So it's basically get in or get out. I'm not sure if that's for everyone. It's not even related to stock market. It's thin air. It's currently thin air. It's like it's gambling. It's as simple as that. So that's the crypto part for now. What I want to talk about on this page is especially the NFT part. And the problem with NFT is the biggest problem for what I intend to do. Let me say intent, not trying, but intent currently. What I intend to do is work on my record label that has been very quiet for the last 3-4 years because several reasons. To build up that community, and I think NFTs and the Web3 part, whatever you call it, whatever it means actually, will be a big part of that in future connection and communication with customers, or should I say tribe members. And that's the most interesting part to me is no one gives a fuck about your VIP program. There's so many clients that are loyal to you, and the most loyal clients are not waiting for a loyalty program. What most clients actually want, and it's fairly simple, and it's something that companies still don't get or still don't want to invest in, is clients just want to give feedback. Plain and simple. It's as basic. It's as basic as it gets. Is I like this phone and just want to give feedback. Hey, I like this phone. I like it because this, and that. We call that reviews. But what I also want to do, hey, I don't like this thing about this phone. Like, I don't know, the touch or the glass doesn't feel that well. Maybe if it could get another glass, I would be very, very interested into an upgrade. And that's something that companies don't deal with, like feedback. They have problems with getting feedback, like translating feedback into something positive and capturing feedback as well. Like capturing feedback is complex for them because they want to organize that and they want to turn that in first party data. But basically it's very human to talk about, hey, I like this product and that's why I like it. That's mainly the main reason why Amazon is so successful, because it's hauling review slash feedback platform, which basically say, hey, this product is shit and this is fucking awesome. So I think the NFT part is currently at a stage where it's first mover. It's very arty driven, which is nice, but it's also very wrong. And what you see is everyone is trading, everyone is flipping, and the real investors into art are heavily focused on specific platforms, so specific art, and not the art you see passing by on Twitter, like the avatar thing. I do get why avatar is so cool. It's game related, it's ego related. It's I'm a part of a specific tribe. People like me or people I want to be like. I do get that. But I think NFTs has so much potential on several formats of NFTs. Like accessibility is a very interesting one. You could trade in digital formats or assets and NFTs into offline things and make it exclusive and limited. So that's a very interesting part for a label, for instance. I've noted down some items in an email to myself, like the potential of limited creation is very interesting. The concept of, and that's the most interesting part, I think, in if I talk from a music label context. How labels work is you get a demo, or you ask some artists to make some tracks, and then you go to market with a digital format. And there are several movements right now. Basically, indie, you do it yourself, and you could go to a platform online, do it yourself, like Bandcamp. That's a very interesting underground platform, but I don't think you will sell that much. On the other hand, you have the traditional ways, which I'm following right now, is work with a publisher, get paperwork done, get every track registered for Sabam, and then go into the distribution. And distribution is pressing records, for instance, 250, 300 pieces, and get distributed to the vinyl shops, and do some digital distribution on Beatport and Juno Download, all kinds of online platforms, which are very big. And then there's a part that goes into streaming as well, and that's the biggest part that's currently giving some kind of traction slash monetary value, which is very low, and that's where the NFT parts is coming in. So the concept of you have to make upfront your tracks. Okay, you can do that digitally, but if you do it on vinyl, you have to press and invest, and take a leap of faith, and then pay into distribution, pay for promotion, and at best you will sell maybe half of them. If you're a big label, market takes all, winner takes all kind of mentality. With big names in the circuit, and you have great artwork, and you could sell over, I think, 1,000, 2,000, maybe 3,000 copies today. But it's not like it used to be 30,000 copies a week. So that industry has changed a lot. And the NFT part is a very special, interesting one, because the biggest concern And the biggest issue with anything emotional related business is that you have no idea who bought your product. Like, if someone buys a record, I know it's sold, but I don't know to whom. And basically, tying it to NFTs is so valuable to get that person into the community and say, hey, cool, you bought something, very interesting. I will give an NFT with that. And it's limited, like the vinyl. And if you have it and you want to flip it, fine. But if you flip it, you're not part of the community anymore. And so you get some sort of tension on people who actually already believe in your product, in your mission, in your what you believe in, to get them together and give them some reasons like, hey, stay, let's make this thing together. It's not you buying a record that counts. It's like, be a member of what this movement is about. And that's interesting. That's very interesting. The biggest concern for me right now is the part where you have to get a wallet and have to get a crypto coin, and as a label pick a crypto coin, like not too expensive, but not too cheap as well. So the first and direct contact interaction with a customer slash believer, fan, fanatic, whatever you want to call it, is very interesting and can give you so much leverage. And that's the thing with, it's basically social media on steroids. It's like, if you have followers and people are following you and we have conversations, it's like, yeah, I want to, you know what, make it more interesting. Like, let's have the conversations and let also maybe talk about transactional things. Like, let's make it interesting for both of us. Let's go beyond friendship. That's very interesting. So I think a lot of companies will make the mistake that they won't see it as make friendships. Like, let's first be friends and then have a transaction maybe. And we'll see it as, we have to tie into our customers. Like, this transactional thing is very important to us, and then be friends. So I think it's basically the main thing to make a great company, is like, be friends first, like give and get the feedback, and then look into transactions. It's basically the same fucking shit all over again, but it's just another technology, it's just another way of working. It's more close to the person right now. Like, that's not true. If you don't want to buy products, you don't buy it. Fuck it. But you're more in control. Like, you're more in control. You're like, just want to be a friend. That's it. And as a brand, you can say, well, if you want to be a friend, we will need to have this and this from you, or we need you to buy some smaller kind of NFT just to get access. Just to be sure. Just to be sure that you're into it and we're into it and we're into it together, without actually buying the product. So that's fucking interesting. That's really interesting. It's like saying, you know what? I want to buy a house, but I just want to have a chat first. Like, get to know me. Are we on the same page? How do you make your money out of this? Like, if I'm searching for a house, I would love to have someone next to me that said, okay, you know what? Let's have some coffee. Let's have a talk or 2, 3. And let's see if things work out. And if we're friends, if we have a match, it's basically how business works. If you like the person, you go into, yeah, you go for it. So basically, I'm not fully convinced that exclusiveness or limited offering on a general entry level, the things that you see now on the art, like Bored Apes and Cool Cats, and there are only 10,000 pieces. You're already seeing Gen 1 and Gen 2 generations, like Gen 3. Yeah, I don't know, it's kind of collection-wise, but it's less interesting. It deteriorates its value really rapidly. I don't think that exclusiveness of limited offering will be big, but it will be a part of your NFT approach, to build a tribe, to find people that match your vision and so on. It's creating momentum, but in the end, you want to create a tier-based approach within your community or tribe, and make the entry barrier as low as possible. I think you should use some format of NFT. So I'm thinking about buy a record and get an NFT for free, because I want to support both sides. I don't want to kill the offline part, because it's very powerful. I think, and it's also a very interesting way to find new kind of fans on the offline part, and then tie them into a way of getting to know each other in an online context with an NFT or a gadget. Or so basically what I did in the past was basically the same, but not digitally connected. So I had like so I send out demos and send them to all kind of people that would give me their address for free, like upfront, like DJ names all over the world, like PM on Facebook, hey, can I have your address? I want to send you a record. If not, okay, fine. And then I send in as well some stickers and a t-shirt. But that was like one connection. And that's interesting for them, that's interesting for me, but it's like one-time offer. And then it deteriorates as long as we go farther or further in time. The value of that deteriorates. It's like, meh, demo. So it's basically the same thing like it used to be. Like, get that initial contact is like the biggest issue, but then you have now the possibilities to give them more value up front and then create interaction, and you could tie it into NFTs, like give them exclusivity or access or interchangeability. So that's a very interesting part. I really like the interchangeability. It's basically saying, hey, basically, I know this is temporary. Like, we still live in a kind of business where a lot of companies think that they will own the customer forever. And I do think, and I see it all the time at my personal in my personal life, as I reflect a lot, it's time-based. It's basically time-based. So like, I'm into coffee like right now, but within 2 months, maybe I would be into tea, and fuck coffee. I don't want to get any coffee sent to my house again. I want to try some tea. So that could be interesting as well. Like interchangeability. If you had it with this NFT thing, if you're part of the community, but right now maybe I don't know. I think I know someone that's maybe interesting to be part of this, or you know what, I will sell just my access to someone else. That's very interesting. Or get another product, or that's so interesting. And again, it's basically the same shit you can do today. Like, hey, don't you like this pair of shoes? Okay, you know what? Send them in and we'll get you another one. The only thing that happens right now is make it special. You make it official. You make it traceable. So that's basically the NFT thing is just a technology thing. I've written down some notes and basically gonna read this off my screen. Compare it to buying a Cartier watch to signal you have credit, and are highly attractive. Is basically the same with any kind of car or gadget. Versus buying an exclusive Cartier watch to signal within the Cartier community. So that's a very interesting dynamic as well. At the entry level, you could buy an NFT to sign, hey, I'm part of the Cool Cats. But then within the Cool Cats, you will have the biggest tier, for instance, of the highest tier. So that's an interesting part as well. So there's a vertical and a horizontal, horizontal and a vertical kind of way of thinking about tier-based. Like horizontal is go to market on a broad level, globally. So for a record label, that would be interesting to go offline. Records, distribution on the basic known channels, streaming, Spotify, and then go into a vertical level when you enter the tribe. So I'm basically currently already building or trying to build a Discord community, Discord server, and basically working on that right now. And thinking about this tier-based approach, what could be interesting. I think the biggest part will be that we need to step away and think as brands, like control, and more like, hey, let's make brands like water. Be like water. Basically that customers own the brand. I think that's the main. Like put yourself out of market. Try to push yourself through the limits and say, hey, my brand is your brand. What would you do? What would you like? How would you like that? How we would evolve, or what should we try, or how should we connect, or what should we skip? What should we delete? I think we'll see a lot of tryouts. It will be interesting to follow a lot of people. I'm currently in I think Discord community of 20 something, or I don't know. But it's all art based right now. It's nothing brand related. It's not even a product. I don't see. I currently haven't seen anything. Like from a Nike or something, or Nike could be very interesting to tie athletes to, like Decathlon. Jesus Christ, fucking opportunity, like coaching and buying into tier-based. It's basically, you could tie into education, healthcare. If you're a brand, you could tie it all together. You could very much go horizontal in the most widest way. It's just insane. And the smart contract, so the NFT, the non-fungible token, makes it really interesting to make a chain of interactions, timely based follow-up. That's very interesting. So basically, I'm going to write down what I see passing by on Twitter, what I've been reading, interpretation, how this could be working for you and for me, especially for me, sorry. So this is basically my research page. fallback page, and you can follow it. And if you don't, if you follow, please give feedback. Would love to have a chat. Would love have some moments of reflection together. So if you're up for a video call, small audio podcast to talk about these things, your ideas, what have you been reading? If you could share some thoughts. Are you also experimenting? That would be very interesting to share that knowledge, because it's coming. It's coming, and I think it's waiting for the adoption. Like lowering the barrier will be the biggest concern, but it's going so fast. It's insane. Like subscribing to a wallet is like 3 clicks. Getting into buying crypto is like 4 clicks. The NFT part is something weird that now it's in your wallet. It's only digital, but as the moment arrives when it goes to offline, like get something delivered, that is when it hits the fan. When something gets delivered and your neighbors see a car with a sticker passing by, they will go research online, and then the trigger hits the fan. The shit hits the fan. So, okay, that's it. 30 minutes video. Sorry for the long talk, but this is in English, so that's not the most easy way to do it. But I want to also learn my English and improve my English. I think a lot of people will give some feedback on that as well. Like, damn, dude, your English is shit. And very American-like. Okay, that's it for now. And see you on the page. Interact with me on social. You can find me on Twitter, twitter.com/driesbulting, or LinkedIn. For now, talk to you soon. Bye-bye.